Good evening, I'm Shannon Sims. This is TMJ4 News at 6. A big day in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial as he took the stand. Let's go straight to Charles Benson, who is in Kenosha.
Good evening, Shannon. Yeah, it is the day we have all been waiting for since this trial began more than a week ago. Kyle Rittenhouse laying out what happened on that night of August 25th, 2020. Now, the morning began with the defense calling Rittenhouse to the stand, and at times it was emotionally distraught, so much so he could no longer talk as he took questions from both his own lawyers and prosecutors. In fact, the judge called for a break to allow Rittenhouse to regain his composure. Now, we want to bring in attorney Jonathan LaVoy, who has been providing context throughout this trial for us.
Yes, Jonathan, let's get straight to it and set the scene here. This morning started off with Rittenhouse being questioned by his lawyers. And let's take a listen into the moment he became extremely emotional as he describes what he says he was being attacked by Joseph Rosenbaum that night.
There were 3 people right there.
Take a deep breath, Kyle.
That's what I...
So, Jonathan, let's pick it up from there. It was certainly an emotional time for Rittenhouse, that what he displayed there. Do you think it was a lean-in moment for jurors?
I think it was incredibly important, Charles, to see the defendant who's asking the jury to find him not guilty of killing multiple individuals. They have to see him. They have to feel his emotion. And I guess it's up to the jury to determine whether that was sincere emotion or not. But I think there was a lot of emotion today, and I think it was important for the defense to place him in front of the jury so they can see that he's not cold and calculated, that he's just a kid, that he was only 17 at the time, to show his immaturity. And I think it was a good move. And I think that in balance, putting him on the stand was a right call.
A good move for the defense. Now, we saw how emotional Rittenhouse got when being questioned by his own lawyers. But when the prosecutor started cross-examining him, they came out with a stronger line of questioning. Let's go ahead and listen into that.
Everybody that you shot at that night, you intended to kill, correct?
I didn't intend to kill them. I intended to stop the people who were attacking me.
By killing them?
I did what I had to do to stop the person who was attacking me.
By killing them?
2 of them passed away, but I stopped the threat from attacking me.
Now, Jonathan, you would expect the prosecution to be aggressive, and they pushed back hard on Rittenhouse's self-defense narrative. Was it effective?
The state today finally started focusing on the shootings themselves and not all these events that led up to the shootings. So the state made some progress in trying to expose some of the choices that Mr. Rittenhouse may have had in the moments. But I think most people are disappointed in the state. Their message was not clear, and I'm not sure that they really were able to get a lot of mistakes out of Mr. Rittenhouse, and they weren't able to expose some of the problems in his version of events. So at the end of the day, they made some progress, but is it going to be enough? That's the question.
All right, those 2 moments we just showed you happened in front of the jury. This next big moment in court today happened without the jury's presence. Judge Bruce Schrader scolded one of the prosecutors. Listen to an animated judge asking Thomas Minger about bringing up what is known in the law as Rittenhouse's right of silence.
Bias towards denial is what I did. Held it open with a bias towards denial. Why would you think that made it okay for you, without any advance notice, to bring this matter before the jury? I was astonished when you began your examination by commenting on the defendant's post-arrest silence.
No one wants to be scolded, Jonathan, but when you were watching that exchange play out, what was going through your mind, of course, as an attorney?
Janet, that is so rare for a judge to be so animated like that. But quite frankly, it was deserved. Mr. Binger engaged in some very inappropriate behavior today and was really acting almost desperate. Judges, when they make rulings, expect the lawyers to follow them. And when a prosecutor just basically thumbs his nose at the judge's order and does it anyway, he invoked that response from the judge. And I think it was well deserved. And the judge is trying to keep a tight rein on this trial, but Mr. Binger today did some things that were just desperate and inappropriate, and the judge called him out on it.
All right, finally, Rittenhouse's lawyer filed for a mistrial with prejudice, meaning that Rittenhouse would not be able to be tried again. If granted, the judge took it under advisement. Do you believe this mistrial motion has merit, and do you think that the judge will even consider granting it?
I think it's a good motion that the defense brought. I think the judge will probably rule on it sometime tomorrow or certainly before closing arguments. I do not believe the judge is going to grant a mistrial. Judges much prefer for the final decision to be made by the jury and not by a judge. And it would be very rare for a judge to dismiss a case forever with prejudice. But when a prosecutor pushes things to a mistrial intentionally, the judge does have the power to find that prejudice should attach and that the trial should stop. But I think in this situation, the judge is going to let it go to the jury. But the judge has indicated to everyone that the prosecution's on a very short leash, and I don't believe that Mr. Binger is going to have any more chances with this judge.
Jonathan, we appreciate your time walking through these important developments today. Jonathan has been joining us every night at 6 o'clock during the trial to provide his expert analysis of the day's proceedings and testimony.